Okay, so make your screen large. It's going to act as a mirror for you. The things that I'm going to ask you to look at are because of muscle contractions, and it's temporary. So this is where your posture is today. It doesn't have to stay that way, and some of the somatic exercises will change it quite quickly. So I'm going to guide you through it. So if you will stand up and face the screen so you can see yourself. And great, so standing up. If you're in a chair and you want to stay in a chair, that's fine because your posture will show up even in your chair. You'll see the upper body part of your posture. So we're all going to stand up and look at your screen, and it is now large so you can see yourself. And however, what part of your body you want to see is it's a good thing, whatever part you want to see. Okay, so facing the screen.
Excuse me, how do you make the screen now? I can see myself very small.
Okay, they're up in the top right-hand corner. There's a blue, if you put your hand up there, if you put your little cursor up there, there's a blue box in the right-hand corner. If you click on it, it will put down a little menu of which pin is one of them. So you click on that and it will make you large, make your screen large.
What is one of them?
It's a little blue box up in the right-hand corner of your picture on the screen.
No.
She may be on an iPhone, perhaps. Are you on an iPhone?
Yes.
So I think the controls are a little different for iPhone. I'm not familiar with it.
Is there anybody else?
Hello.
Is there anybody here?
Can I interrupt?
Yeah.
May I interrupt, please?
Yeah, please.
If you just tap on Ramesh's picture, it enlarges.
Okay. If they should enlarge their own photographs so that they can see themselves. So they should tap on their own photographs.
So Utaxi, tap on your photograph. Did you make yourself big?
No. See, whatever I do is not coming. Let it be. I see in the small picture.
You have to click on click.
Click on what?
Pin yourself.
You can't close that.
What?
But you know, not I close mine. Yeah.
You can still work with a little version of yourself. Okay, so standing and looking at yourself in the screen. And it'd be good if you could see at least your upper body at this point. So as you stand there, and the reason why you're standing the way you're standing is that some muscles are more contracted than other muscles. And it has to do with what you've been doing. Like if you're talking on your iPhone a lot and you're tilting your head, the various things you do, gradually those muscles might start getting more and more contracted. Okay, looking at yourself from the front. How is your head positioned? Is your head tilting to one side or the other side? Or is it straight up? And some of these are hard to see and other people can't see them very well either. But with a trained eye, you can begin to see it. And this lets you know what exercises would be good for you to do. Okay, how are your shoulders? Is one shoulder higher than the other? Is one shoulder lower? And the lower shoulder will be the more contracted side. Now, how are your arms positioned? Are your arms coming out to the side? Are they right beside your side? Are the palms of your hands sort of, the backs of your hands coming toward the front? How are your arms positioned? And how are your legs? Are your legs wide apart? Are your feet turned out a little bit or turned in? Is one turned out and the other one turned in? That just has to do with how your muscles are contracted at the pelvis level. Okay, so turning to the side. And you're going to have to kind of look over your shoulder, and that will change your posture a little bit. So as you're looking at yourself from the side, is your head coming forward? Many of us are having heads coming forward nowadays because we're spending so much time looking at the computer screen. Are your shoulders coming forward? Are they coming back? Sometimes people hold their shoulders very far back. What we'd like is if a line was drawn from the hole in your ear, would it go right through your shoulder, through your hip, through your leg, and come down sort of behind your heel? Or are you deviating from that a little bit? So now looking at your back, is your back arched? Is it kind of like a cave? Yes. Juanita says hers is. And is your weight, or are your shoulders coming back farther than your buttocks? That's a true sway back position. Are your knees super straight? Hyperextended? Are they super straight? Are they bent a little bit? Is your weight coming down more on the balls of your feet, the front of your feet, or is your weight coming down on your heels? And that kind of thing. So you can't see yourself from the back, unfortunately. You can turn around to the front now. If you had a mirror, you could look over your shoulder and see yourself in the back. So next time you have a mirror and can look at yourself from the back, you can do that. But having looked at your posture, some of you are probably coming forward more than going back. How many of you noticed yourselves coming forward more? Your head is forward, your shoulders are forward, your torso is coming forward. You can do a thumbs up if you're forward. How many of you were sort of bending back? You're sort of doing a crescent moon with your body. So your back is kind of arched and you're more of your weight's coming over on the balls of your feet or the front of your feet. And how many of you were kind of tilted to the side? One shoulder being higher than the other shoulder. And sometimes your head's going in that same direction of the lower shoulder. Sometimes it's going back to the other side. So you can sit down now and let your body relax from the stress of standing there observing yourself. And if you want to unpin yourself, you can.
Elenor,
Yes?
just a small diversion from the original plan.
Okay.
If you see my posture,
Yeah.
my right hand is lower, my right shoulder is slightly lower. So if
Yes.
you can demonstrate how this can be corrected, people can get a feel of how Hanna Somatic works.
Okay. So Ramesh is telling you that his right shoulder is lower than his left shoulder.
And if I bring my hands, you can see my one hand is slightly lower than the other.
Yes. Yeah. And you can see how far his hands go down his legs. And one side will be higher. The space in the thumb is a particular good thing to look at. So what this means is that he is more contracted on his right side. And maybe there are activities that he does that contribute to that. I don't know if you lean and reach for something over and over, or another thing that will do it is we're all handed, right-handed or left-handed. And when you are right-handed, as Ramesh probably is, are you right-handed, Ramesh?
Yeah.
Yeah, you use that side a lot. Plus the opposite hemisphere is very active. And as it is active, it contracts all the muscles on the other side. So he's thinking, he's planning, he's working on things, and all the muscles on the right side get a little more contracted. So to change that with Hanna Somatics, we could do a whole protocol called the trauma protocol that would have him voluntarily contract and then voluntarily release or reset the muscles that are pulling him over to the side. And the reason why we care about that, you know what, so what if he has one shoulder lower than the other shoulder? Well, the thing is that brings the vertebrae closer together on that side. And it may end up with discs that are bulging out the other side, which may impinge on nerves that are exiting from the spine. So he might have an issue of pains that are created by a bulging disc because he's so bent to the side. He's not that bent to the side, but if he kept on doing it, at a certain point, that could develop. So we want to be symmetrical, both sides, more or less the same tonicity on an ongoing basis. So also he could do somatic exercises in which he particularly did cat stretch number 5 on my list, in which he voluntarily contracted those muscles and then slowly let them go. And in doing that, he would use his motor cortex to contract those muscles and decontract them and reset the resting level. So maybe Ramesh, you might demonstrate that exercise. So he's going to lie on the floor so we can see him. Right now, you're going to disappear with your name. Great. He's going to lie on the floor with the contracted side up. His knees are bent with 90 degrees at the hips and 90 degrees. He's putting his arm over the top of his head. And now he's going to voluntarily contract. He's coming up against gravity, which adds a little extra load. And then he's slowly coming back down. Repeat that 2 more times. And this is one reason why the daily exercises, which don't take more than 10 or 15 minutes to do, keep you from building up that imbalance over time. So his brain, his motor cortex is contracting all those muscles, causing his body to move in that direction. In this work, we go in the direction that the body is going into involuntarily. So you can change which part of the brain is controlling it. Now, why don't you do the last part of that? So you're going to come up into that position. As you come down, extend your leg and your arm. So coming up, and now extend your leg and your arm as you come down. Great, so you can lengthen, but we're not going to stretch those muscles. He's just going into the new length that he created. And now you can come out of it. And relax. So let's stand up and see if you made a difference.
Yes.
Yeah, you did.
Yes. Almost aligned.
Yeah, very good. So
Very
the
good.
thing is, this work is extremely fast when you get the right muscles, because it's a question of They were being contracted by one part of the brain. We change to another part, that part can reset it, and it's done. It's not taking months of exercises, it's not taking other things, it's just changing who's controlling it and reset it. You know, that part got contracted for some reason, and it is dutifully maintaining it until you change it. And then it's happy. It's not going to go back to where it was unless you keep doing the movement that started it in the first place. But if you do your daily exercises, then it won't build up over time. You're taking care of it as you go along.
In fact, I've not been doing cat stretch for the last week because of problems in the family.
Yes. You say you have not been doing it?
Yeah, for the last 1 week, I couldn't do it because there were other issues at home.
Yeah. Okay. So when you can't do it for a while, then some of those tendencies build up. And then when you can do it again, you reset them.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh my gosh, I have backslid. It's all over. I'm going to go back to where it was before. No, just do your exercises and you will recover your level of development relatively quickly. It's quite amazing, really. It truly is amazing. Are there any questions right now here? So just to say, if you found yourself bending forward quite a bit, your head was forward, shoulders were forward, then you need to do forward bending somatic exercises to voluntarily contract and slowly coming out of it several times. Or even if you're doing yoga, do forward bending yoga poses and slowly come out of it. The slow coming out is very, very important because that's when your motor cortex is resetting the resting level of the muscles. And you have to do it mindfully. You have to pay attention because that's how we keep it in the cortex. Otherwise, it's going to go to other levels very quickly because those other levels are set up to do it automatically, but it won't be the same thing. So if you found yourself with a very arched back, and cat stretch number 3, yoga poses like the cobra and the bow and the locust and all those various things will be good for you, but you want to slowly come out of the posture because that's when your brain will be resetting the resting level of the muscles. And so if you were very tilted to the side, you're going to want to do the exercise that Ramesh was demonstrating, and also any yoga poses that are side flexions. But slowly coming out of them so you can reset the muscles. Okay. Any questions here before we continue?
I just did the exercise Ramesh ji did, and I have a balance, like my body was slightly tilted. I mean, I was standing straight, but I could feel my right shoulder down. And I just did it on the right side, and now I feel more balanced. Like immediately, I feel more balanced.
That is great.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Thank you
In fact,
for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
In fact, Elenor, Rati was the other person who was going to share her experience.
Right.
If we can give her 2 minutes, she can share her experience.
Let's do it. Let's share it now.
Yeah.
Thank you. I didn't know anything about this. Somebody in our group posted Hanna Somatic's poster for the webinar, and that's how I contacted Ramesh and I registered. And like he beautifully explained that you don't have to stress your body to do it. And though I didn't have any problem in my body, but when I did, what I noticed was there was a surge of energy change in my body. A surge of energy change, there was a massive surge of energy where I could very active throughout the day, calmly. There was a different kind of energy that was felt in my body by doing that. That's the first thing. And yeah, when I did it, like I know before going to bed, it was like every part, right from my fingertips to the toes, was totally relaxed before going to bed. It's like you've gone into a spa and somebody has given you a whole massage down, and then you are ready for bed. It was like that. And the only difficulty that I have felt in this is that when I'm working with others, they are expecting something very much more out of the movement, and they kind of like run away just by doing a class because they feel that, oh, what is this happening, you know? They find it difficult to come to terms with it, that if you're doing only 3 repetitions and only doing it slow and steady, that it can bring about a change. The belief in that is quite poor. That's the only challenge I face when I kind of apply it with other people.
That is a really good point. So this work requires a paradigm shift. If you know, there's an understanding of the world and how bodies function, and this is a different understanding. And so people have to become ready to understand it. It works whether you believe in it or not. So let's say you work with a person who says, I can't believe that. They will have the changes anyway, whether they believe it or not. So it's not based on belief, but belief can certainly change your receptivity. So your willingness to give it a try. But see, the person can develop as they do. Let's say they trust you. So they go ahead and do it with you. And as they do it, they begin to be able to recognize the changes. And it requires brain development in the sensory cortex, which is right behind the motor cortex. Their brains have to be ready to be able to perceive the changes. And so as they do it, even though they don't, let's say, believe it or know what to expect or anything, gradually that area of the brain will develop. The little neurons will get larger. They'll get more interconnections. They'll be able to perceive it. And sometimes it's quite exciting. Like, oh, I'm feeling my body. I wasn't feeling it before. And it's wonderful. It's very important for us to be able to feel the information coming to us from our bodies. Very important, very useful, very precious. Yes, Juanita is resonating with that. Yeah.
Because
One way of addressing that is also to tell them that, to trust you and be with it for some time, and then notice the difference and be convinced from the difference that they can notice.
Yeah.
So,
From them. Yeah.
I guess I think it was because this is what I experienced, so therefore I'm sharing it, that when they come to you because of the pain and difficulty, their mind is already so agitated. In the first sitting itself, they cannot experience it. That's what I felt. And then seeing the nature of the practice being so slow and steady and 3 repetition, they kind of run away. So this is what the experience I've had. That I had two people who had come to me, and both of them, they said, no, Rati, we don't want to do this. So only on one sitting, they kind of like, they didn't, I guess it was because too agitated to even experience what was happening in their body. Right. That's what I did. I may be absolutely wrong, or maybe I didn't do it the right way. I don't know. It's maybe my first experience of it.
Yeah.
That's all.
So we don't know what was going on, but we do know that sometimes people aren't quite ready to do it.
And today's world is all instant gratification and fast moving. So if they think of this as something slow, they really can't put their think that the brain is the part which is also involved in it. They just want everything, like a pill, and it should be over.
Yeah, so this work can be very fast. So one of the things that I tell my students and clients is if you will do this slowly and mindfully, you can do everything else faster than ever before because your muscles will not be fighting each other. So when you start to do something, start to move forward, the muscles in back can hold you back because they're contracted. But when your body is free, you want to reach forward, you reach forward. And you walk faster, you move faster, but it's not because you're speeding up, it's because your body moves more easily. So it's something that people can get used to. The results are very fast. If you have a frozen shoulder, frequently that will take about 2 years to get better. But in doing it with Hanna Somatics, you can change that in a matter of weeks, maybe even one session. It's actually very fast because you're changing levels of brain control to the part of the brain that can actually make the change, rather than trying to use some other areas and not getting anywhere. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, Ramesh, I believe, is going to do some more of our somatic exercises. So we've been particularly focusing on muscles and movements having to do with your back. And this time we're going to move, depending on what happens, into more things having to do with your upper back. And we'll follow anything else that comes up that is significant for all of us. But first, we need to do a couple of the everyday somatic exercises to warm up for it. So if you will lie down on the floor.
And the body scan also will be helpful with it.
I'm sorry, what?
Body scanning. Before we start, we ask them to scan their body, no?
Right, we're getting ready to do that. Yes. So the first thing you do, lie down on your back, and we'll do a body scan or a soma scan. And you're just going to check in on how your body is lying on the floor. So when you did your assessment, you noticed certain things about your body. As you're lying on the floor, can you notice some of the same things? You know, your arms a little out to the side, or your head tilted to one side, or your legs in a particular position, or your back arched coming up off the floor a little bit. You can slide your hand in under your back and see, is your back on the floor or is it arched up a little bit? So there's space between your back and the floor. So just checking out, is one side of your body pressing more firmly into the floor? What is that position? And you also, we haven't taken time for this in the past, but at the end of the session, you can lie on the floor again and scan, and you will notice differences in how your body is lying on the floor. So that's a nice thing to do when you've got the time to do it. Okay, so also it's a good idea to relax your body while you're lying on the floor. And let's do just a really brief relaxation to get all of your muscles ready to do this. And part of what we're doing is lowering your alertness level so that your muscles can relax a little bit to start with. So relax your feet, relax your legs, relax your pelvis, relax your abdomen, relax your chest, relax your back, relax your hands, relax your arms, relax your shoulders, relax your neck, relax your head, and prepare for your somatic exercises. So slowly bend your knees. And all of these are done with awareness, with you having your mind on what you're doing. Anytime your mind wanders, bring it back. And you can pay attention by noticing the sensations that are created with the movement. So inhale and arch your back. Your back's going to come up off the floor and then slowly come back down to the floor. So when you inhale, your back comes up. Exhale, your back comes down. This is the natural movement pattern for ordinary breathing. And we'll do this 5 times slowly. You can do it sitting up if you want to. It's the same movement. And after you've done it 5 times slowly, pause to feel the sensations you've created in those movements. What parts of your body are giving you feedback? And there are a lot of receptors in all those areas that have just gotten stimulated and they are giving you feedback. It's going up to your sensory cortex. Okay, lace your fingers together behind your head. And you're going to inhale and arch your back again. Exhale, pick your head up using your abdomen to pick up. And your elbows can come forward a little bit. And then slowly coming back. Okay, exhale, coming forward. And then slowly inhale, coming back. And you want to not go too far. And the most important part is the slow coming back down. If you need to, you can count as you come down. You come up, you say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you come down slowly. And we'll do that 5 times. So this uses your abdominals and then lengthens them, while it also inhibited your back muscles, allowing them to lengthen. That's the only way you can sit up, is with your back muscles giving you permission to do that. And in this work, we never want to go too far. We don't want to go farther than you can go comfortably, because we will stretch the opposing muscles, trigger the stretch reflex, and they will recontract. As sure as it is morning in India right now. So 5 times slowly, that's wonderful. Coming down, because we want to use the motor cortex. If you go faster, a part of the brain at the back of your brain called the cerebellum will do the exercise for you. And it will do it very well, smoothly, coordinated, quickly. It does not work with feedback. It's very good at moving, but it does not have the connections for setting the resting level of your motor units and their muscle fibers. It just doesn't have the connection. So it just helps you contract everything to move in different directions. Okay, pause to get the feedback from your body about what it's been doing. Okay, slowly roll over on your stomach. We'll do cat stretch number 3. Bend your right arm. Put your left cheek on the back of your right hand. So you're looking to the right. Check it out. Am I looking toward my right elbow? Or am I looking toward my left elbow? So you want to look toward your right elbow. And now you're going to, and if you want, you can reach around and feel your back muscles, whatever you can reach. Feel how contracted they are or not. Just get a before. Feel with your the palm side of your fingers. Just feel how resilient they are, or are they tight? Okay, when you're ready now, pick your hand, your head, and your elbow, and your opposite leg up off the floor. And slowly come back down, letting those back muscles lengthen and relax and come down. Repeat that 2 more times, coming up and slowly coming back down. So it's 3 times. And this is, along with backward bending poses from yoga, done somatically, one of the best ways to reset the resting level of your back muscles. So when you're ready, pick your left shoulder up, turn your head to the left, put your right cheek on the back of your left hand. Now your right arm is down beside you. You're going to pick your head up using your back muscles and your opposite leg, and slowly coming back down. And for those of you who may be just observing, it's your brain is also being stimulated by watching the people that you're watching. So your mirror neurons in your brain are getting stimulated, and certain aspects of your motor system will kind of come into play because they're wanting to do it. They're getting ready to do it, but you're not doing it, but they're getting ready. And so it can contribute to your movements. Okay, slowly rolling over onto your back. And we'll pause for a few seconds. I like to pause for about 20 seconds. In Hanna Somatics, typically people don't pause, but I like to pause because I like to receive the sensations. So now you're going to be on your back, bend your knees, and we're going to do cat stretch number 4, which I know some of you have done before. Put your right hand behind your head. Your left hand is going to take your left knee, so your knees are bent. Inhale and arch your back as you've done in those other moves, and then exhale, bring your elbow towards your opposite knee. So coming up and slowly coming back down. Be sure you bend both of your knees, because for one thing, it'll be easier. And for another thing, you'll be able to use the appropriate muscles more readily. Great, so it's 3 times to both sides, and then you can pause to feel the sensations. And now we're going to do a variation of this movement. And as you do it, you will notice how different it is. Has effect on different muscles. So now in this new version here, this other version we're going to do, let's start back on the right side again, where we did before. So your right hand's going to be behind your head. And don't let me rush you. And you're going to reach across with your left arm to your right leg. So reach your right arm across the front of your body to your left leg. And now you're going to inhale and arch your back. Bring your elbow toward the same side leg. So you want to reach across with your arm to the other leg. So reach across your body to the other leg with the straight arm. Right. And coming down. Can you feel the difference in how you're using your back? So be sure your arm is, the straight arm is coming across your body to the other leg. And now you're going to bring your elbow toward the same side of your body's leg. It's a very different move. It uses different parts of your back. Be sure you inhale and arch in between. If you're sitting up, you can do the same thing. Your right hand is behind your head. Your left arm is reaching across towards your right knee, and you're bringing the two together. So we're talking about if you are good. Excellent. And I just want to say a word about Ramani and his wife. It's very good to do this together. A family, especially a husband and wife, who learn to do the somatic exercises, both of them remain healthy and more comfortable, rather than just one of them being healthy and more comfortable, because they resonate with each other. So how you are somatically impacts on your family members and vice versa. So it's really good when members of the family do these, and it's really nice when they do them together, as they are doing it right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And a little bit later, you can tell us, not tonight, but some other day, what it's like when both of you are practicing. You don't necessarily have to do it at the same time of the day, but if both people have their somatics practice, it's really increases harmony. You're welcome, Bharati. All right, pause to feel the sensations you created doing those movements. Okay, slowly roll over onto your left side and bend your knees. So here we'll do our side lying pose that Ramesh was demonstrating earlier. So lying on your left side, your knees are bent, coming out in front of you at right angles to your body. Your knees are bent. It's also a right angle. And your right arm is going to be across the top of your head towards your other ear. And when you're ready, inhale, pick your head up using the side of your body, and then slowly coming back down. And repeat that 3 times. And as we said last night, this helps some muscles in your very low back that people frequently begin to have problems with. The gluteus medius and the gluteus minimus. Okay, let's add in what Ramesh was adding in. We'll do it on both sides to make sure you're balanced. So on your 4th repetition, as you come down, straighten your arm over the top of your head and straighten your leg, top leg down the floor. And just allow the side of your body to lengthen. So you're going to straighten your arm and your leg and let your body lengthen. Very nice. Very nice. So you don't have to do that every time, but once in a while is a really nice addition. So slowly roll over on the other side. And bend your knees. Putting now your left arm over the top of your head. Inhale, pick your head up and your foot up and slowly coming back down. Leave your knees together. You're just going to pick your foot up. So foot up, leave your knees together. If you can, pretend your knees are glued together. You're only going to pick your foot up. We're doing an internal rotation of your leg. And some people naturally do that. And it's not a good thing to be running around with your legs internally rotated. Nor would it be a good idea to run around with your legs externally rotated. So on the third repetition, extend your arm and your leg again and feel the side of your body lengthen. And we're not going into a stretch. We're just allowing the side of your body to lengthen. And then feel the sensations you've created within your body. So now we're going to work some with your upper back. So last night we worked a little bit with the upper trapezius. Let's roll on your side and sit up slowly, and we will work. So you can be sitting on the floor or in a chair, wherever you are. We're going to work with muscles of the shoulders that go down into the back. So if you were looking in your mirror, in your pinned picture of yourself, and you looked at your shoulders might be sloping down. Your shoulders might be coming up. Sort of, there's a little scoop between your neck and your shoulders, sort of rotated up. One shoulder can be rotated up and the other one down. If I look at Ramesh, he's a tiny bit rotated up, I think. What do you think, Ramesh?
The right side is still slightly.
Yeah, a little rotated up. If you see his neck and then down to the end of his shoulder, it's a little rotated up. There's a little valley between his shoulder and his neck. And that just means that his shoulder blades are rotated up, which is great for putting your arms over your head. So put your arms up, Ramesh, and let's see you do it. Great, he does that really well. Okay, slowly come back down. But you need to also be able to reach down. And if your shoulder blades are very rotated up, it makes it really harder to reach down. So we're going to work with all the muscles that rotate your shoulder blades up, and then we're going to work with the ones that rotate your shoulder blades down. And what you want is a balance between both groups. And those muscles have something to do with what's happening with your upper back. So we're going to start with the ones that rotate your shoulder blades up. And it's good for any of you who want to be doing that with us, do it. So we worked last night with one of them. So let's do it again. Turn your head to the right. Tilt your head back towards your left shoulder. Lift your left shoulder up towards your head. Slowly let your head come forward and your shoulder comes down. So your head is just coming to neutral. It's not coming farther forward. It's just coming to where it started. Tilt your head back. Take your other shoulder up. Stay where you were. Ramesh, turn your head to the right. Tilt back. Shoulder goes up. Slowly let your head come forward again and your shoulder comes down. Tilt your head back, shoulder goes up. Tilt your head back, take your other shoulder up. Great. And slowly coming down. And relax your shoulder, relax your neck. Great. So now turn your head to the left. Tilt your head back toward the right, lift your right shoulder up. Slowly let your head come forward, your shoulder comes down. Repeat that 2 more times. Coming up and head forward, shoulder coming down. And you might, if you pay attention, feel what it takes for your shoulder to come down. Feel the different changes that are necessary for it to come down. So that's one of the 3 muscles that rotate the shoulder blades up. So now we're going to work with the next one. Take your right shoulder, bring it down behind you towards your opposite hip, and then slowly let it come back forward. So it's going to come down toward the floor and back toward the opposite hip, and slowly coming forward. Coming down and coming forward. So there's 3 muscles that rotate the shoulder blades up. So that's 2 of them. That's the lower trapezius. So he's voluntarily contracting it and coming out of it. So now let's do the other side, which he's already doing. Shoulder down and back towards your opposite hip and coming forward. Shoulder down and back towards your opposite hip and coming forward. Shoulder down and back and coming forward. Great. Now relax your shoulders, relax your back. It's okay. So now we're going to work with the other one, the third of the muscles. So you're going to reach forward, roll your arm inward and reach farther. And that uses your shoulder blade. You're asking your shoulder blade to come away from your spine. And you're going to come forward with your arm, Ramesh. Bring your arm toward the front, roll it inward, reach up with it, reach up. Can you feel your shoulder blade coming away from your spine? Now unroll, let your shoulder blade go back. You feel your shoulder blade moving?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, roll your arm inward and reach up, great, and forward and coming back. So you're kind of going to the side. Can you go right straight in front of you and up? You kind of toward the screen. Roll in, reach forward, and coming back. And relax your shoulder. Let's do the other one. So now left arm, roll your arm inward. Great, reach forward. And slowly let your shoulder come back. Reach, this is your serratus anterior, which brings the shoulder blade away from the spine. Reach in and reach, and then coming out of it. And relax your arms and your shoulders. Okay. Good. And coming back and relax your arm and your shoulders. Very good. So if you look at his left shoulder is not as scooped as it was.
Elenor, I want to ask one question.
Neither one of them are as scooped as they were, which is really good. So now he can reach up, but he can also reach down a lot better than with his shoulder blades rotated. Okay, now,
Want to ask
yeah,
one question?
Arpita, yes?
Elenor, once we are doing this, the neck should be get down or be straight.
Well, as straight as it can be.
Okay.
Yeah, just let it be natural.
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So his shoulders are less scooped now. Would you agree, Ramesh?
Yes.
Yes. Good. Okay, so now we're gonna work. Good, Juanita. Good, now
I just
we're
need
gonna
to
work.
add one question. Can I
Yes,
ask?
please.
Yeah, I got a bad habit of sleeping with two pillows. And
Uh-huh.
right now this is hurting. All the exercise that I was doing is getting. Is there a position to sleep right?
Well, you want to make sure that your head is, let's say, horizontal with the rest of your body. Rather, you don't want it going too far toward the bed. Otherwise, if it's supported well enough, that's a fine way to sleep. But right now we need to finish with, because I don't know, would you stand up? Let me see you here. Okay. Then. Okay, so you are a little scooped here. So with doing these exercises gradually, you'll undo that, which will be a good thing. So now we're going to work with the other muscles because some people have both sets of muscles that are contracted. And some people have one set and not the other one. So they're very rotated up or they're very rotated down. So we're going to work with the ones that rotate down now. And when your shoulders are rotating down, you may have seen some people, they can't put anything on their shoulders. Like they can't put a purse on their shoulders because it slips off. Anything they put on their shoulders is going to slip off. So they have to hold their shoulder up to carry anything on their shoulder. Anyway, so we're going to work with the downward rotators of your shoulders. And this will involve muscle, the rhomboids, which are very contracted for some people. So before we do anything, there are some people who are having back pains in their upper back between the shoulder blades. You said, that hurts a lot. It hurts me every day. Okay, so those people, they're rhomboids. These are muscles that try to hold your shoulder blades next to your spine, are getting a strain put on them because of how far forward your shoulders are coming. Hi, Umesh. Anyway, roll your arms all the way in, bring your shoulders toward the front. So first of all, we have to release the muscles in front. So roll your arms all the way in, bring your shoulders toward the front. No, your arms are by your side now. Put your arms down by your side. And roll them inward, backs of your hands next to your hips, bring your shoulders toward the front. So your hands are just down by your side. So roll your arms in, bring your shoulders toward the front. And so we are medially rotating our arms, which many people in today's society have medially rotated arms because they're working on the computer. And you have to medially rotate your arm and pronate your wrists, your lower arms, in order to have your fingers on the keyboard. So we've got a lot of people running around with their arms medially rotated. So we're releasing.
Request to repeat the practice, please.
Okay, your arms are down by your side. You're going to roll your shoulders inward, your arms inward, bring your shoulders toward the front, and then slowly coming back to relax your shoulders and your arms. And so about 3 times will help you reset the muscles of your shoulders that do that. One of those is a muscle we worked with last night, the latissimus dorsi. But there are at least 3 other ones that do that. Pectoralis major is one of the muscles that contributes to that. And also the teres major as well from the back. Okay, so we just released a little bit that tendency to roll your shoulders in. and back. And, but now put your hands on your thighs and bring just your shoulders forward and slowly coming back. Let's see. Okay, so Ramesh, just bring it, great. And slowly coming back. This is being done by your pectoralis minor. And it's one of the 3 muscles that rotate your shoulders downward. Great.
Mid-back pain. Pain in the
Is there a question that somebody has?
chat?
I don't know. And now relax your shoulders, relax your arms, relax your shoulders. And we want to, so those are the 3 muscles that rotate your shoulders down. Actually, there's one more, but the shoulders rotated down, the levator scapula, the pectoralis minor, and also the rhomboids. So we haven't gotten to the rhomboids yet. Bring your backs of your hands behind your buttocks and bring your shoulders back together behind you. And then slowly coming forward. Let your shoulders come forward now. And do it again. We'll do it 3 times. Using that muscle, your rhomboids, to bring your shoulders back.
Ramesh, can you show from back or sideways where we can see you? What's happening on the back? Thank you.
Thank you. Great idea. Okay. He's bringing his shoulders back behind him and slowly decreasing the output to them so they can lengthen and allow his shoulders to come back to neutral. So the thing is, people whose upper back is hurting in the rhomboid area frequently want to stretch that area. Bring your shoulders forward, stretch the area. That may help temporarily, but you really need to reset the resting level of those muscles to have it be more than temporary. And you want to release the muscles that bring your shoulders forward first, because they are the ones causing the rhomboid problem. So you want to release those first, let them go, and then you can contract and release your rhomboids. So Ramesh, would you demonstrate that? Roll your arms in, shoulders forward, and then slowly coming back, right? And then slowly coming back. And after he did that several times, he's opened his chest, so to speak. Then you would want to release your rhomboids by putting the backs of your hands behind your pelvis and bring your shoulders back together and let them come forward.
I think, I don't know, we should move on to the individual assessment.
Okay, let's see. Okay, the last muscle, we worked with it last night, because the downward rotation is the levator scapula. So we don't need to review it now, but basically it is turning your head to the side, tilting to the side, take that shoulder up, coming back, coming forward and back to the middle. So the 3 muscles that rotate your shoulder blade down, and you would want to work with all 3 of them to change the posture there. Okay, so let's go to, we're going to work with several individuals here. And
So the first volunteer who is offered to volunteer is Kala Raghunathan. You pin Kala's video. Elenor, by way of introduction, can you see Kala now? Kala, wave your hand so that Elenor can see you.
Yes. Hi.
She's in a green tops.
The green top. Hi,
Yeah.
Kala. Yes.
By way of introduction, Elenor, Kala is my schoolmate. So relationships go back from up 1970s. She had an acute back pain. She was on injections for that. And after the third module, I made all the class go through the green light protocol.
Mm-hmm.
She experienced tremendous relief after the green light protocol.
Mm-hmm.
She used to have pain during the day while working. That stopped. And then she wanted to persist and see whether the benefit continues. And then her doctor now has taken her off injections and put her on oral medication. And then you're muted, Kala.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we just said that she should volunteer herself so that you can take a look and take her to the next level so that possibly her oral medication can also disappear. Over to you, Elenor and Kala.
Hello, everyone, and good evening, Elenor. How are you doing?
Hi. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I just wanted to update about the status of my improvement. As Ramesh said, it is really, I don't know whether should I say miracle or it is only Ramesh's efforts that tremendous improvement is there. I feel so comfortable, and my doctor has stopped. Past 3 years, I was taking injection. No, that is stopped. That's a
Oh,
great news to me. Yes.
yes.
Yes, it was really painful taking everyday injection. But now,
Yeah.
yes, thanks to Ramesh once again. Then
Thanks, Elenor, too. She's the one who is
yes,
pinning me.
yes. That goes without saying. Okay. Now,
Okay.
secondly, now I have only one problem I have started facing. The mid-back region,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
that is paining sometimes. And if I lie down, that pain goes away.
Can you turn around and show us where you feel that?
This portion.
Right there. Okay.
Can you
Great.
see? Can you
Yes.
see?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So how is the rest of your posture now? Can you?
My posture is much better now what it was comparatively. But then the problem is I can't sit for a long time with my spine erect. Even during meditation also, I have told Ramesh, I had to stretch my legs and sit. Then with the support, then I can sit comfortably. Without support, I cannot sit for a long time.
Can you stand up for us so we can see your posture?
Yeah.
And also I can see in you.
Can you see me?
I can see that you have a look in your face and in your body of a person who has been doing her somatic exercises. Because there is a cellular change. I think it has to do with the increased circulation and the general well-being that goes with it, because I can see it in your face, even on video. Would you agree with me, Ramesh? Have you seen that?
Yeah, I can see the changes that she has been going through. She's a regular participant in the somatic yoga class, and she never likes to miss the class as much as possible.
Great. Okay, so turn to the side. And let's see. Okay, so one of the things that's going on here is that when a person's probably psoas is contracted, it pulls the spine forward, and then you have to go into a curve above that to counterbalance it. So we need to work a little more with the psoas, and let's do that right now. And then also, I think it would be very valuable if we did a little bit of the latissimus dorsi exercise from the side. So we did last night, we did it from the front. We'll do with you right now from the side. But first, let's work with your psoas a little bit. So if you'll lie down on your back, and we need to have you adjust the camera again. Okay, I still
Still more. We can't see you.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah, come down a little bit so that you can see your face. Yeah,
is okay?
yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Okay. So bend your right leg. We're not going to be able to see it, but we'll know you're doing it. Bend your right leg.
She can adjust the camera a little bit. We can see your leg now.
Need to see a lot of your body. Yeah, that's good. Okay,
Yeah.
bend your
Left
right
leg
leg.
straight. Yeah.
Bend your right leg. Can you pick your right knee up off the floor?
Yeah.
Thank you. And put
Just
your foot
keep-
on the floor. Okay.
No. The
Knee
knees,
towards-
yeah, that's right. On the foot on the floor, that's all.
And we did this last night. So with your left leg straight now, pick it up a couple of inches off the floor and slowly coming back down and relax. So you're using your psoas to pick your leg up, pick up again,
Not
and
so much, little less.
slowly coming down. Great.
Yeah, slowly coming back.
Again, picking up. Good, and coming down. And slowly change sides. Good. Pick your right leg up now a couple of inches and coming down and letting go. Okay, pick up a couple of inches and slowly letting go. Again, one more time. And slowly letting go. So you have contracted your psoas, and now you have decreased the contraction, and now your psoas is more relaxed, and you need to especially do that one or the seated psoas release every day to keep your psoas from pulling your spine forward so much. Now, would you roll over on your right side and bend your knees? So you're going to roll on your side.
On the side.
Yeah. And maybe for our sake, you might roll over on the other side so we can see more of what you're doing. Would you roll on your left side now? Change sides. Great. And bend your knees like we've been doing. And at this point, it would be very nice if we could see your upper body. So if you can adjust your camera or move your body down so we can see your upper body. So move down towards your feet or move the camera. Great, that's perfect. Okay, put both arms out in front of you. Out in front of you.
Front of you. Front.
Front.
Both arms in the front.
Yeah, and bring them up sort of higher so they're coming out right in front of you. Bring them higher towards your head. Now put them on the floor. Put them on the floor. There you go. Okay, so now bring your shoulder back behind you and arch your back. That is, your belly's going to come forward, your shoulder's going to go back. Let your shoulder go back behind you, and now slowly let it come forward. And your hand can slide. Your arms need to be right out in front of you. Like if they could be higher, can you bring your arms higher towards your head? So they're right out in front of you? Great.
Yeah, on the
That's
floor.
better. Okay, now your shoulder's going to go back behind you. And your belly's going to come forward. And now you're going to take your shoulder forward. And therefore your hand is going to slide on top of the other hand. So as you bring your shoulder back, your hands will slide. One hand will come back. As you bring your shoulder forward, that hand will meet the other hand and maybe even go beyond it. So you're bringing a shoulder back and then letting your shoulder come forward. Very slowly. Okay, so now take your upper arm over your body to the opposite side and only go as far as you can go easily. So it's going to go towards your back. It's going to go straight over the top toward the back of you. Right now, I think it's going up toward the top. Take your arm behind you.
Towards your buttocks.
You know what, Ramesh, I'm going to ask you to demonstrate here. And do you pronounce your name Kala?
Kala, yeah.
Kala. Kala, would you please watch Ramesh? You can sit up and watch.
Yeah, sure.
So in Hanna Somatics, we don't demonstrate except when necessary. I think we need to have you face us. Can you face us, Ramesh? Very good. So your arms are going to come straight out in front of you. Ramesh, straight, very good. Okay, now bring your shoulder back behind you. Therefore, your hand is, keep your arms straight. Keep your arms straight. And your hand is going to slide back because your shoulder's coming back behind you. Keep your arms straight. There you go. And now bring your shoulder forward. Great. Take your shoulder back again. And coming forward. Just 3 times. And of course, each time your hand will go farther, but you're not trying to make it go farther. Keep your arms straight. Got to keep your arms straight because we're working with your shoulder and not your elbow. Okay, after you've done this about 3 times, keeping your arms straight, take your arm over your body toward the other side. And your head can turn. Keep your arm, can you keep your arm in the same plane that it was in coming forward? Okay, bring your arm back again toward the other hand. Bring your hand toward the other hand. Great. Okay, going back again. And your head can turn back. And your arm goes only as far as you can go easily. Now, please don't go as far as he is going unless you very easily can do that. Because you'd have to stretch certain muscles and they would recontract. Okay, so now coming up, your arm is forward. Bring your leg, upper leg back behind you. And your arm is forward. Put your arm forward. Now take your arm back and bring your leg forward. And you don't have to go very far forward. You might want to straighten the leg that's on the floor. Straighten your leg on the floor. Take it back behind. So it's kind of, doesn't have to go back that far. It just has to go back behind the other leg. Coming forward. Ramesh, straighten the leg that's on the floor. Straighten the other one. Straighten your, there you go. So you can come in front of it, okay? Great. Here you go. And coming forward again with your leg, and your arm goes back. And the other leg comes in front of that leg that's on the floor. And then it goes back. Bring it in front of the other leg. In front, in front, in front. Look, Ramesh, yeah. So it's coming in front, then it's going in back. Just going right, doesn't have to go that far. It just goes in back of the leg. And then it goes in front of the leg. Okay, right, so you do that about 3 times slowly, and then you do it on the other side. So the thing is, it will be easier on the other side because this side has gotten freed. So let's see what Kala can do with it. Do you hurt more on one side than the other, Kala?
Yes.
Which side? Do you
I'm doing
hurt?
left side now.
Okay, do the left side.
Yeah.
Okay. So remember, your arms go right out in front of you. Great. And bring your shoulder back. Oh, you're ready to do that now. Okay. So your arm is coming back. The other leg's coming in front of the leg that's on the floor. So bring your upper leg back behind the other leg. I really don't know where she is in her process. Okay. So let's pause and feel the sensations you've created with all those movements. And tell us what you're feeling like now.
Better it is. I think
Better?
with the more practice, I think it will be more flexible also.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. And Ramesh can give you some nice guidance about
Sure.
that.
Elenor, should I also work with her on the red light protocol? Because I felt that she was slightly rotated forward.
Yeah, yes, that would be very good. It would be very helpful.
Yeah.
Good.
Very
Thank you.
So the next person
Thank
to
you,
go
Elenor.
is,
Thank you so much.
yeah, my
You're
pleasure.
welcome. In fact, Ramesh, you would start with the red light protocol.
Okay, fine.
Before you got to the more specific intervention we were doing now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
The next person to go is Rama. Can you see Rama? She's in a blue top.
Ah, yes. Hi, Rama.
Yeah.
Rama.
Okay. Rama can explain her position herself.
Yes, Elenor, I'm currently overcoming rheumatoid arthritis. I had this problem about 15 years ago, and it cleaned out with Ayurvedic treatment followed by physiotherapy, and I've been regularly practicing yoga. And somehow after 15 years, the problem slightly resurfaced about 6 months ago. And I again took the same Ayurvedic treatment, which seemed to begin to work. But in the meantime, I got COVID.
Oh, dear.
So post the COVID, actually, a lot of the aches and pains have come back. And, I'm compromised on being able to sit down. And the other strange thing, which I've not found any explanation for, is the duration that I had the COVID and a little after that, for nearly a month when I had the fever and this and that, I had absolutely free movement of all joints.
Really?
Yes. And but it then slowly started contracting on various things, and it changes. First it was my left side which was contracted. Now my left side is relatively freer. The right knee and the right shoulder, that is what is now in trouble. But what I did find was I started with Ramesh's guidance. And after 3 sessions, I found the pain did not change greatly. However, my effort to walk, I like to go out for a walk whenever I can, especially early mornings. My effort in terms of walking and the ease with which I'm able to, put one foot in front of the other and walk, that became very, very, very low effort.
Great.
So, again, the last 3-4 weeks have been a little hectic because we had a bereavement in the family. So I've not been able to keep up with my cat stretches. And I've restarted again with Ramesh.
Tell me what's difficult about sitting down. What's the problem?
I come lower, and the last couple of inches, I am not able to lower myself into the chair. I kind of fall into it.
Yeah. Well.
So if things are at a certain height, then I can manage it. If it's even an inch or two lower, it's a struggle to both sit and then to change posture. Like right now, I'm doing everything on a big double bed.
So how are your quads? How are the front of your thighs?
Oh, they're very, you mean I palpate them and tell you?
Yeah, yeah.
They feel soft right now.
Really? Totally?
No, they actually used to be extremely tight, but just now they're feeling softer than they've been for a while.
Good. Did you do the quad release?
I've been doing everything that you've been saying since morning.
Good. Okay. So I bet there's one more thing that we need to do. But may I take a look at your posture first?
Sure. Should I stand up?
Yes, please.
This is okay, or you need the camera?
I think you're okay. Turn to the side. Can you turn to the side? Can I see you from the side?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So with Ramesh, you're probably going to do the red light protocol, which is working with you being pulled forward a little bit. But right now, what I'd like for you to do is lie on your back because we worked with most of the quads, but let's work with the rectus femoris. So lying on your back, bend your right leg. So there are wonderful things that you and Ramesh are going to be able to do to decrease your symptoms. So please lift your left leg up, keeping it straight. Take it as high up as you can go. How high can you lift it? And great. Now slowly bring it back down to the bed. Wonderful. Can you do that a couple of more times? So she is using her rectus femoris to pick her leg up. And she's going to take it up only as high as she can go easily. And then slowly, she's decreasing the output to it so it can lengthen and it can allow her leg to come back down. So how do we know she's doing that? Well, if she wasn't doing it, her leg would stay up in the air It wouldn't come down unless it got fatigued and then it dropped down. So she is contracting it and then slowly decontracting it. So great. How did that feel?
The second and the third were much less effort.
Really? That's wonderful. That's great. So let's now pick your other leg up. So this one, you're going to bend. We'll still be able to see your leg. Pick it up as high as you can go easily. And then when you're ready, slowly coming back down. Now, if she was with a practitioner like Ramesh, he would be holding her leg for her so she could slowly bring it back down. But you can do it by yourself. So with regard to rheumatoid arthritis, stress plays a big role in how contracted the muscles get. And you can do gentle somatics and keep it from progressing as far as it would go. So I have lost count. Was that 3?
2.
2. Let's do it again. Coming up. And slowly down. And relax. You can relax both of your legs. That one was not as easy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
This one, the later ones were also more tougher. I don't know how.
Yeah, well, it's very important. So would you roll on your side and sit up slowly? And then let us watch you sit down either on the side of the bed or in a chair, either one. So we can watch you. A chair would be better, but a chair is probably far away. So you can sit on the bed. So stand up.
Does this work like this?
So we need to see you. We're seeing your head and your shoulders, but we want to see your hips and your legs.
Better?
So stand up. Okay. So
I can
now,
move to a chair. Let me do that.
okay. If you could just even tell us how it feels, that would be helpful.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay, so you're standing up and now slowly sitting down. Let's see you do it again. Stand up. And now slowly sitting down. How does that feel?
The standing up is easier. This chair is slightly taller than my bed.
Mm.
In the sitting down, I'm again, I'm kind of dropping in the last inch or two. I'm not sitting down gently. I'm
right.
Kind of
so the standing up is easier, which is
easier,
good.
yes.
Really good. And the sitting down needs a little bit more work. So we were working with her rectus femoris so that it can do an eccentric contraction. When you're doing the slow coming down, you're doing an eccentric contraction. That is, the muscle is retaining its contraction as you gradually allow it to lengthen. And you can do a control sitting down. You might need to practice with a chair with arms to start with so you can get the last control of sitting down.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so continue your work with Ramesh and in the class. And
I also must share this. I did the entire cat stretch last night before I went to sleep.
oh, good.
And I've woken up much less stiff than I've been in a long time.
That is wonderful. And as you do them, that's going to get better and better. I mean, you will get more and more integrated and more able to decrease the contractions that are causing your stiffness. That's wonderful news. And you probably slept better too.
Yes, I did. I did.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Elenor. I am looking forward to cleaning this out completely with Ramesh's help and your expert advice. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful for this.
I'm so
Great.
glad, and I want Ramesh to keep me posted on
Yeah,
how you're developing.
I'll do that. Before we throw open the session for some sharing of experience and feedback, a few bits of information for everybody. Those of you who are very keen, I invite you to visit the website of Novato Institute of Somatic Research and Education. And there you will find some wonderful videos in MP3 format. These are lessons recorded, given by Dr. Thomas Hanna himself, as well as Elenor. And these are very good videos, and they are priced very competitively to help people buy them. They're as low as $30, $35 for each of those MP3 videos. So those of you who are very keen, you can choose a particular set of videos that you want. Like there are videos for lower limbs, there are videos for the upper limbs, for the whole body, etc. So you can buy them. I actually have bought them. I'm using them regularly. You can play it on the audio and actually practice with the instructions from there. There are also a couple of participation. I'll put it on the website group for everybody, the exact IP address of the Novato Institute. One of the participants requested that we should put the video with only the exercise and Eleanor's voice. That may not be possible for me to do the edit. But if you go to the Institute's website, you can download the required lessons and then you are on your own following the instructions directly from Elenor or from Dr. Thomas Hanna. The Novato Institute conducts a 3-year course for practitioners. Currently, of course, for Indians, it's a little bit of a challenge in the sense that you have to be awake the whole night if you want to participate in the course. I am doing it. I will be completing in March 2023. And there are 2 intakes every year. So if you want to explore that before we launch a formal course in India, you can possibly try and do it. And I have requested Elenor to be kind and considerate for India, and she has consented to my request. She has agreed to charge a very special consulting rate of $50 a session for all Indians. So if any of you want to have a one-to-one session, let me know. And after the first session, then you can, practice with me to keep your cost reasonably affordable. And then you can again go back to Elenor after 1.5, 2 months. So we do that. We have done this for multiple clients in India with varied benefits of improvement that they have experienced. So if any of you want to do that, please let me know. A couple of participants who are already in this group today have already requested for one-to-one session, which I will be organizing in the coming days for them for a session. So
Can
with
I
this,
intervene here, Ramesh?
yeah.
I just want to tell you, I've been doing one-on-one sessions with Ramesh, but the philosophy that they subscribe to is to make you independent.
Yeah.
It is not to make you keep on having one-on-one sessions and
Yes.
lengthening that. So that is a priority, which I find otherwise not necessarily there everywhere.
Yes. In fact, we tell people that after 4 or 5 sessions, you should be on your own practicing. But in India, what you find is people don't want to do that. They still persist and continue. So one of the problems I have is people don't drop out. So I can't find slots for new people who want to come in.
Really?
Yeah, that's a problem. Whereas in the West, people will come to you for 4, 5 sessions and then they're on their own. Then they meet you after 3 years, 4 years, whenever they need. So that's the practice. And we expect that will happen. So we hope it will happen. Now, of course, I throw open the session for anybody who wants to have any last minute question. But there is one question on the chat which you want to possibly address, Elenor, before we proceed with the others. It was something about, yeah, it says, here I have a question. Exercise for people who have too much accumulation of fat on their shoulder plate, you won't be able to see their C5 or C7. So you have anything? Yeah.
You know, you don't really need to see their C5 and C7. They will find it appropriately when you have them do the movements. So as the shoulders are, let's say, as your head is coming forward, your shoulders are coming forward, there will be a buildup of fat. And as there will be a buildup of muscle contractions, trying to help you hold your head up. And as you go into your real posture, that area will decrease in its tissue buildup. And but it takes the work of you getting your posture back into alignment then for that process to happen. But the name of the website is somaticsed.com, somaticsed.com, and it stands for Somatics Education. It's okay. You know, it's absolutely a personal choice whether you have your eyes open or closed when you do the exercises. Many people close their eyes when they're doing them.
I find it better. I always find it better with the eyes closed to focus on the part of the body that is working on.
Yeah, yeah. Because the more attention you put on that area, the more effective it's going to be. The more you're going to use the right parts of the brain to do it. So.
Any other questions or any doubts, clarifications, points? So we'll slowly start winding down the 2-day program. For your information, please stay on the WhatsApp group. We plan to work with Elenor to come up with more webinars like this. Each of them will in the future address different parts, like, next one could be for the shoulder, and then could be for the front side of the body, lower limbs, upper limbs, like that. So each one will be a focused seminar, and we will be giving you information as and when we finalize it. And once again, Elenor, thank you so much for being such a supportive person to promote and propagate this wonderful practice of Hanna Somatics in India. And all the participants, thank you very much for joining. And even in the West, if you read the book Somatics by Dr. Thomas Hanna, he will talk about people who has come to him after 4 years, 5 years of going around with doctors, not getting a cure, and finding relief within first meeting or second meeting with him. So even in the West, doctors don't readily recommend that you explore these kind of possibilities. In India, we had not even heard of Hanna Somatics before, but at least now I have got close to 100, 200 people who have heard of Hanna Somatics, at least about 15 to 20 people who have practiced it and have undergone experiences. And for your information, we have had some wonderful results. We have 2 9-year-old kids who had tremendous problems on their knees and thighs. Both of them are completely back to close to normal. One of them is absolutely normal. The second kid is almost close to normal. We had another 12-year-old girl who had scoliosis. Her mother is a yoga teacher. After experiencing, she participated in the first webinar that we had. After that, we asked her daughter to be put on Hanna Somatics, and now her scoliosis is completely gone. In fact, when she started with us, her mother discontinued physiotherapy because she did not find it beneficial as compared to Hanna Somatics. So wherever you have a muscular contraction related pain, Hanna Somatics is a great exploration that one must do. So spread the word around for people who can benefit, where medical science cannot possibly put it back to normal. Hanna Somatics can do, and you don't lose much by experimenting with it. And if they benefited, nothing like it. So once again, with these words, I thank each and every one, particularly Elenor, for being so supportive of trying to help us spread Hanna Somatics in India. So just be in a meditative position. We'll chant Om 3 times and then close with chant mantras. So take a deep breath for chanting Om mantra. Shanti Asatoma Satgamaya Amasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Rub your hands nicely. When they're warm, gently place them on your eyes. Open your eyes. Slowly release your hands. Hari Om. So thank you one and all, and thank you Elenor, and see you all.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Elenor. Thank you, Ramesh sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ramesh sir. Thank you, Elenor.
Thank you so much.
It was a wonderful
Ramesh.
session.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.